Bonjour, bienvenue. I messed that part up. Hello and welcome.
Mouthful. What?
I'm the last 2 days have been the days from hell at work for me because we had a big event today. High school kids coming in to check out the different departments and the research and all that kind of stuff. And it's like a recruitment type thing. And it was my job to make sure all the volunteers got fed. And so the last 2 days, it's been shopping at Walmart to buy all the stuff, ordering the food, setting everything out. And I'm not a hostess. I don't like being a hostess. But
I know.
I had to bring a whole pizza home because it was left over. It was like, it's going to go bad if I leave it here. So it's coming home with me. So the guys have
pizza out sometimes when we have a ton of people over at Christmas because I feel like I got to wait on everybody and get everybody drinks and get everything, and I don't sit down and I want everybody to have a good time, and and then you have all the mess to clean up, and it's like it's over, and you're like,
Thank God the other secretary was there today. She was helping me kind of keep up and set out and clean up, and so. But he's like, I'm so glad the day's done. I didn't get out of work until like an hour after I got off work before I got out of there because just doing all the stuff. So what do you say? I mean, it happens. I'll take some time off this week. And won't mark it.
I'm just going to relax.
They don't pay me overtime, so I rarely work it. But when I do, I'm taking an afternoon off.
Yeah, I won't blame you.
So you're feeling better.
How much longer do you have to work?
5.5 more years and I'll hit Social Security retirement age. But if I hang in until 70, then I'll get retirement as well.
70 is a long time. Especially if you're working, at least you work at a desk job. My mom worked at a hard labor job in a factory. It was a job a lot of men couldn't do. They'd try it for one day and quit. And so jobs like that are hard to stay.
I know, I've done them. I've done construction cleanup. I've done housekeeping, like for a company. I've done all kinds of jobs that were physical manual labor. And standing on your feet all day, and it's like I can't do that anymore anyway because of my back. But even days of sitting at a desk all day, mentally there are days when it is so challenging that it's like I get home and my brain is mush. It's like I can't think at all. And so anyway, well, let's say hello. We got a few people here.
Yes.
Renee is here. Hi, Renee. Samantha, Kathy G.
Soda Pop.
Stella for Foresight, Soda Pop. That's a new name for me. So
I know, me too. Hi, Soda Pop. I like it. That's
Lisa
what I call it.
I'm doing a reading for Lisa. Doing a reading for a private reading for Lisa this weekend. She won a reading from me.
And get a reading from you?
Lisa Rhodes. She won a reading.
Oh, good.
With me. So she's Mel Broussard's here, and I wish I could get in touch with the other Mel. I've been emailing him till I'm blue in the face trying to get him to respond. Mel Dorr.
Oh, he's so busy.
I know he is.
I know he wanted to come on my channel, he said, and him and Kevin, but it's just finding the time because either I'm booked with shows or he's, booked with shows and trying to find if it's meant to be when it's meant to be, it'll happen.
Kevin Lewis, the healing medium. We've been trying to set a date together for like almost 3 months.
He's so nice.
And it's like when he's free, I'm not. When I'm free, he's not.
Exactly.
And we both laugh about it. I said, well, eventually we'll connect. I'm not going to worry about it. So
I like him. He's a really, really nice guy.
He's a sweet guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I met him through Lisa and Sharon with Nasty Women Tarot.
Okay.
He was Sharon's hairdresser.
I know, yeah.
And that's how I met him, was through them. And so it's like, oh yeah, he's cool.
I said, I wish he was here to do my hair. I've been having I don't know what the heck's wrong.
I need a haircut so bad.
It was blonde. Then I tried to get it red and it was more brown, and then I ended up putting this stuff I got on it now is temporary. It's just kind of like you wash it.
Makes it look auburn.
It's auburn, yeah.
It's a pretty color.
And it slowly will wash out, and then if you want it, you can put it back in. So I did
mine
that.
Won't color anymore. I lost that battle.
Huh?
I said mine won't color anymore. I lost that battle when I turned 50. It wouldn't. I would go get my hair colored, and when they would do the rinse out, the brown would be whatever they put in it. The white would be white. It just wouldn't take color.
If my hair turns that color,
it was white. And then when I turned 60, it started turning blonde. I was like, all my life, I wanted to be a blonde. And who knew I'd have to wait till I was 60 to get there.
And you don't have to get your roots done either anymore. Like I would have
I don't even worry about it. I've got one dark streak over here on one side. It's like a reverse skunk. It's one dark streak that runs through. But I need a haircut. It's all split ends now, and it needs to be cut. I had mine
down to here, and they went to go. She decided to cut the split ends, and apparently they were. I had a lot of them because it was. She goes, "Oh, your hair's crooked," and it's like I really didn't care because it takes me like 3 years to get that much. So she cut it all the way up. So every time I trim, I end up getting like.
The last couple of times I had my hair cut, because I've been trying to get it all one length because it was so many multiple lengths because it was so short for so long. And I said, you know what? We're just going to start cutting up. You know, just shorten it to whatever's the next layer. And then we'll slowly deal with it that way. And so I'm pretty sure this next go round, it's going to come back short. Like maybe up to my earlobes.
My video yesterday, I had Lady G on, and
I watched. I saw it.
My hair, and I had my hair pulled back and just, in a barrette. I look back at that, I'm like, oh my God, I look bald. I look like I'm bald.
You didn't look bald at all. You looked fine.
I think I'm so critical, when
we are. I mean, I got a headband holding mine back right now because it's wanting to do this. So it was like, okay. And
at least you got some body in there. Mine looks like it just hangs.
My hair is very, very, very thick. And
it's very, very thin.
And it's naturally curly. But it doesn't really curl anymore. It just kind of waves. But it's really thick. It's like the minute they touch my hair, they're like, oh my God, you've got so much hair.
Mine's so thin, and I lose it every day. And then with the thyroid stuff going on, I think I'm losing more. So I could make a wig out of the hair that I lose in a week.
There you go. Hi, Lady Silver. Well, if we lose you, darling, we'll know it's the weather that knocked you out. So,
you didn't have bad weather?
And Lady Silver said that she's having a lot of buffering due to the rain. So
I know I need to get a new, what do you call it? Is it a modem? Not a modem.
Yeah,
router. I need to get a new router because I guess Lady G said mine was kind of sketchy yesterday. So, but I have to find one, just, kind of priority. It's not the priority yet. I got other things.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I make do with what I got because that's all I got until I can afford more.
I did it right now. For a while.
Yeah, right now I'm paying off bills, so
trying
to catch up on stuff.
You have a Sabrina here. Sabrina, isn't that a beautiful name?
I love that name.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch is what it makes me think of. I used to read those comics.
Yeah. I think I think those came along when I was a little bit older. No, I take that back. They were around when I was reading comics because it was part of the Archies group. Yeah.
That's what I spent my allowance on when I was.
My brain is mush. I'm telling you, I can't think anymore.
Okay, we're two mush brains, you guys. So if we lose our thoughts.
And my back's been out since yesterday, when I had to haul all that crap in and out from work. So I had to take an extra pain pill earlier. So I'm like really mush. My brain's really mushy now.
And here we are. Mush brains on air.
Mush brains are us. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, we got a couple of questions coming in.
His name is Sabrina. I just think that is such a beautiful name. Albedo lost for Texas.
My father gave me the name.
Hold
Oh,
national
yeah.
office or be a senator for the future? Good question.
I knew someone else whose
there.
name was Sabrina. I can't remember now who it was. It was somebody I knew. And,
Well, and I always liked the name Samantha because Bewitched was my favorite show
yep,
growing up.
yep, always like Samantha.
And Tabitha.
And they would call her Sam.
Tabitha.
And my mother's initials were S-A-M. So a lot of people would call her Sam. So I always thought it was cool.
I almost named my daughter that. I almost named her Samantha because I liked the name Sam as a nickname. But it was in the 80s. And there was 2 songs named Amanda. Remember that? Amanda, Light of My Life, Waylon Jennings. And then Boston had Amanda. And then Barry Manilow came up with a song called Mandy. It was beautiful. And I couldn't make up my mind.
That was my high school years.
So I decided I would name her Amanda and then nickname Mandy. But I found out anytime I see somebody named Amanda, I'm like, are you born in the 80s? Yep. It was really popular in the 80s. We go through these decades where there's certain names.
Oh, yeah. I was named after Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop.
Oh, yeah, I remember her.
You remember that? The little sock puppet Lamb Chop. And her name was spelled S-H-A-R-I, which is a weird spelling. Yeah, I hated it when I was a kid because nobody could spell my name right. And,
we were all D's in my family. So it started out, it was Donnie, Debbie, Donna, Deann, and Dennis. And Donnie was after my dad's best friend. Debbie, my mom liked the name. Donna Lynn was named after my mom's best friend. And then, I don't know how many years, 8 years later, I came up. And I think they decided to stick with the D's.
There you go. I've known people like that with a lot of kids. They stick to one letter.
Yeah, and then they get all tongue-tied when they're mad at you. It's hilarious.
Oh, my mother would run through every name in the book before she'd get to the right one. And there was just 2 of us. But that would include the dogs' names and, whoever.
Samantha says she was a teenager. I would get asked all the time to wiggle my nose.
Yeah.
I actually would get asked if I was related to Whammo because my last name was Frisbee. They'd say, hey, Frisbee, fly over here. Nobody called me Deann. It was, hey, Frisbee. And
oh, God. That was such a good movie. They did a remake of that movie with Harrison Ford.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen Sabrina, the movie.
It's really good. The original is fabulous. And then Harrison Ford did a remake in the 80s or the 90s. I don't remember which. The same movie. And it was really good too. But it's a good movie. It's about this chauffeur's daughter who has a crush on the youngest son, goes away to go to school and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And when she comes back, she's this sophisticated, beautiful woman. She's not a kid anymore.
Like, what's that movie? My Fair Lady?
Similar. And the younger brother is like engaged to get married, the one that she had the crush on. Mm-hmm. And he sees her. And so he's like, eyes, wandering eye kind of thing. And the older brother was like, oh no, we're not going to have this. So he starts dating her to keep the younger brother away. And then they wind up falling in love. So it's a really good romance. It's a really good movie. And lots of flips. With Julia Ormond, she played Sabrina. And wow,
we have Amanda Carroll in here. I wonder, Amanda, were you born in the 80s? We were just talking about Amanda. I looked over and seen Amanda.
Yeah, 1963 Amanda.
Named after
great-grandmother. Okay. Well, see, my middle name is Lynn. L-Y-N-N.
That's my sister's middle name. That was very popular. It goes with everything.
The female side of the family, going back to my great-grandmother, all the girls have, or even some of the guys, have either the middle name Lynn or the middle name Loy, L-O-Y.
Because it goes with everything. My sister's name is Donna. It could go with any name. Yep. My middle name is different. I was named after my grandmother, and it's Lucretia. And I almost used that for my username because I thought maybe I shouldn't use my real name, but I already did. So, but yeah, Lucretia, I tell my husband, my grandmother was, or one of my grandmothers was Lucretia Borgia. And I always ask him, how much insurance do we have on you? But she was a black widow.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Butterfly. Butterfly Kisses showed up.
Oh, hi, Butterfly. I like her name. She's a sweet lady.
And you saw what Renee said about us.
What'd she say? Yes. Oh, thank you, Renee.
I know, that's so sweet.
She's so sweet, and
I caught a few minutes of Renee. Was it today, Renee, that you were on live? I don't remember. And then it was like 5 minutes into it, and I had to get up and leave the office. When I came back, she was done. I was like, well, crap.
I sent her an invite to my birthday party to come and be on air with us. But
I want her to come do a show with me. We can talk about tarot love community and all that. So, because that's such a great thing.
I had so much fun on my birthday when you guys came. I had so much fun, and the highlight was my little granddaughter coming on and singing "Happy Birthday." My little 3-year-old granddaughter. That was awesome. Oh,
she's just too cute. Oh my goodness! I think we were all going into cuteness overload with that.
She made the whole thing. My daughter. Now you guys know what my daughter looks like. So that was my daughter and my 2 grandsons and.
Awesome. That was cool when they came on to sing. I was like, now her day is complete. Her grandbabies have showed up. So
she gave me
that was a fun birthday. Thank you for inviting me. I really had a good time. And
I thought maybe I was a bit too silly, but I felt like, you know what? It's my birthday. I had a tiara on and my little balloon, and I thought it's my birthday. I wanted just to be.
Your husband should have bought you a wand.
You guys were in my living room, like everybody.
Your husband should have bought you a wand. Then you would have had your scepter and your tiara. I know. See,
now I want to wear my
next year. Next year, you need to tell him he has to buy you a scepter or a wand, and then that way you'll have the tiara and the scepter, and you can, I don't know, do whatever you do with that.
I need my props like Tarot Stash has all these little props.
I love his little tiny hands.
I love the tiny hands.
I love the tiny hands have tiny hands.
I know. He is very creative. I am not that creative.
He's hilarious. I love him.
I need to ask him to come on with me sometime. I like him.
I'm sure he will. I mean, he's been on with me twice. The first time is just Gerald. And then the second time I got Miss Tarot D and Tarot Sachet.
I know. I watched that.
And, that. With the exception of Linda G being on, that's the most requested show that I get from people. When are the queens coming back?
I know.
As soon as I can arrange it. And then I saw you say something to Mark about, Sherry did that. And he was like, well, she didn't invite me. And I'm like, you didn't answer your damn email.
Yeah, he could have been. What is it? He does
Granny.
Yeah, Granny. I was going to have him do that for a Halloween show. I was thinking of having, and then I see what you did. I thought, that's such a great idea.
It just kind of I met Ms. Tarot D, who that's the only way people know him online, because he's kind of an upstanding citizen in his area. And so he has to be very careful to keep that separate. It's like, yeah, I get it. That's cool.
But isn't it nice we can be ourselves on here?
It is. But he does his drag queen bit. And I was like, I would love for you to come on the show. And he was like, okay. He says, well, maybe Gerald could come on too as Tarot Sachet. And I said, yes, I was going to email him. He says, okay, well, email him and tell him I'm going to come on when he comes on. And so I got them. And then I told Mark, I said, the next time I can get them to a date, you'll be the next one I call. Come on as Granny Nanny. And then I'll have 3 queens in the swamp. So we'll be an overload of queens.
So did you get many questions? I was just curious. I'm thinking that I always, whoever's coming on with me, I know this is bad, but I'll make them an administrator too, just because it helps. Because sometimes it's hard.
And I always forget to do that until after the fact. It's like, damn it. But I have 2 We have,
Hey,
I think
Soda
I've
Pop,
already,
I read on that.
I think I've already got that one, Soda Pop. Yeah, I
I had
already
somebody
started
ask
that.
me about Katie Ha. Who did she ask about? Well, the thing
Carrie
on
Lake.
Carrie Lake.
Yeah, Carrie Lake. I haven't even looked at politics today. It's like, you know what? Well, I haven't really
I think
looked
I
at
got Kate. I'll have to look again. I think last night when I read on it, I got Katie Hobbs winning for
everybody. When I
governor of
read on it
Arizona
last
over
week, I
Carrie
read
Lake.
that Katie
I
Hobbs
don't
was
get
going to
Carrie
get.
Lake winning.
I don't. And I know a lot of people are freaking out. And I was like, you know what? The more I read on it, the more I go in and think about it, I just don't see
She's not going
it
to win.
being
I
as
don't think.
bad as everybody's thinking it's going to be. Yeah, we may not win some of the seats we thought we were going to win. Beto, Stacey
I
Abrams.
know he should have won.
But
How did he not win?
I
How?
believe Susan Lynn when she said it's actually a good thing that he didn't win because
For
this is
safety?
now going to make Abbott and all of those in Texas think, we're getting away with it. And they're going to do even more. And it's just going to seal their coffin. It's going to, they're going to really regret it, you know.
I'm
So,
feeling like Carrie Lake will not win, but she's going to pull a Trump and
oh,
say, you know.
every, and I've already said the Democrats need to do the same thing this go around. Everyone that it's a close call and they say that the Democrat lost, then they need to go in and say, we want to recount.
Because I got the two of Pentacles, so they're gonna like, oh, we've got to recount the votes. She's gonna cry foul, and it's also a
I
maybe
pulled the Eight
or
of Cups.
I get no. I think when they count it all, it'll be a no. She's walking away.
I pulled an Eight of Cups. Disappointment. You know, disappointment, abandonment, withdrawal. Yeah, she's and this has jumped out when I was shuffling. I didn't even pull this one. It just flew out on me. So it was like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess spirit spoke.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to recount the votes. You know, the other one's going to, she's not going to win. She's going to want to recount on the votes of the two of them. But when it comes down to it, no, she's not. I don't think she's going to win. People are sick of it.
Either. I
People
just
are sick of all the bullying and the it's like a kid who plays Monopoly and just flips over the board and for 2 years.
Yeah. Hi, Karen.
That I
Both Karens. We got two Karens in the house. Karen Johnson and Karen Robinson. So hi to both Karens.
Hi, Karen.
We are overrun with Karens today. And
Karen Robinson.
Hi, Aspie.
Pretty close to her. She's a doll. I love her.
Yeah.
And Lisa's here, Lisa Rhodes.
But yeah, I mean, I've got when Linda G was on my show, what was it? 2 weeks ago, something like that. A week ago, I don't remember. And we were reading on it, and she asked me, she says, well, what are you feeling on the election? I said, I feel like there's going to be some important ones that we're not going to know right away because it's either going to be contested or it's just going to take a while for them to count, because a lot of states have it in their state law that mail-in ballots and early voting can't be counted until a day after the election is over.
I know, and then
a lot of people don't know that.
No, and they're griping and they're telling their base that, oh, they're cheating. They need to stop counting the votes at this time. Well, the votes got to be counted. If they came in before election day, that you can't just.
I don't understand why they aren't counted as they come in. Personally, I mean, they should be, but most of the states have laws that say they can't count. They can't count the mail-in and the early ballots until after the day of the election.
Well, a lot of ballots got taken out because they didn't put mail-in ballots because they put the date wrong or they forgot to put the date. So then they're trying to invalidate their vote. So they're trying any sneaky way they can to win. But
they had armed militia hanging out, I think it was in California, hanging out at drop boxes to intimidate people.
145 judge says that they could do that and there's nothing we can do. Well, then the DOJ or somebody, I think, said, no, you cannot do that. That's intimidation. You're threatening people. You know, people going to vote, little old ladies see somebody with a gun or come up and harass them.
You know,
that's intimidation.
I saw, I guess it was a day or two after it had come out that these militia guys were doing this. And I saw somebody in an interview and they were asking her how she was so brave to do this. She saw these guys like patrolling these drop boxes. And so she went home, she grabbed her lawn chair.
I see
and
that.
She came back and she set her lawn chair down and sat next to the box.
So what you doing?
Started talking to them. Hey, what you doing? Who are you trying to scare? Why are you trying to scare people away? Don't you believe in democracy? Don't you believe in one person, one vote? And
I'm so proud of her.
I know. I was like, that took some nerve. Yeah.
And did you hear on Fox News? They're starting to actually, you know how they just always praise 45, like do no wrong. They're starting to turn on him.
Big time.
I think it's his fault. And
then said, Trump came out with some nasty stuff he said about DeSantis.
Yes.
The governor of Florida, about he had proof of da-da-da-da-da-da.
And I'm going to spill it if he runs for president. What a dirtbag. I'm sorry,
they are all turning on each other. And personally, I think the Dems need to take a clue from the president and just sit back and laugh. Because every time somebody asks Biden about it, he just starts chuckling. Yeah. He's like, yeah, well, you know. But and that's all he says. He doesn't put his 2 cents worth in. He just laughs about it, which throws reporters off because they're like, they don't know what to do because he's not following protocol of saying something negative about the other guy. He just laughs. He's just like, yeah.
Did you see the interview where they asked him if he took any of the blame for the people he endorsed for the GOP that have failed, like Dr. Oz? He said, well, if they win, I think I should get all the credit, but if they lose, I should take none of the blame. And then he even threw his wife under the bus, said it was her fault about Dr. Oz. Nothing's ever his fault.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to not have anything ever be your fault.
Oh, he's in the process of blaming Melania.
He is. He has.
For Oz losing against Fetterman. Yes. I'm like, if I was her, I'd be like, too bad, Charlie. You're still not getting in my bed, so.
No.
I gave you the child. That's it. We're done.
Karen says, hey, why not read each other? Trump is predictable crazy. I want real crazy. Well, you got it, Karen. You know me. I'm your friend. Yeah. I'm the real crazy.
Let's go for. I haven't read politics in a while, so I'm ready.
I have read a lot of them, so I think this weekend I'm just going to not watch a thing. I'm just going to relax and try my best.
You know, it's like
obsessive. I get obsessed, and it's like I want to know what's going on, and I can't seem to stop myself. And it's like it's starting to get to me. So I think I'm gonna this weekend just relax. What's going to be? We all voted. We all did our part. We can't do nothing about it, and just trust that everything's going to happen how it's supposed to happen, and not let it get to me.
Well, and it's like I said, when Linda was on with me last week, she asked me, how did I feel about it? I said, overall, I feel good. I said, I feel like I did when Trump won. I was physically ill for 2 days after Trump won the presidency in 2016. I said, but then I started thinking about it. And I thought, you know what? He's the best damn thing to happen to this country because he's going to show us where all the rats are. Yeah. And that's exactly what he did.
Yes. He's shown us what's broke.
Where all the loopholes were. And all of these rules that the American people thought were law and weren't. Right. They were just a gentleman's agreement. We don't step over this line. We don't do this. We don't do that. There was no law for it. It was just an agreement among both sides. We don't step over that line. Well, Trump blew the line up and said, I'm going to do what I want.
There's no law written, so I'm going to
But
break that.
now they're working on putting those laws into place.
Yes, yes.
And that's what was needed. We got to, I think we need to expand the Supreme Court. There should be one justice for every district court. There's 13 district courts. So we should have 13 justices, one for each court, that they kind of oversee that court.
And it should be a law, like with Clarence Thomas, with his wife being involved. It should be a law that he has to recuse himself and step down.
There should be a law.
I don't have to, and I'm not going to.
He should have to retire, if not get impeached. Yeah, I mean, half of the people on the court right now need to be gone. And I believe Linda when she says they will be. So, but
well,
listen,
and you know what? Some of them
Trump
are going to get
crazy.
indicted. Some of them are going to get indicted. I think, DeSantis is in trouble for that thing he did with sending the immigrants over there. That's trafficking. He's in trouble for that. I think he's going to get in trouble for some money matters. And I think that a lot of them have taken, money they shouldn't have, been involved in the January 6th where they shouldn't have. And I think there's going to be some people that are going to get indicted and lose their seats, be forced to step down. And maybe that'll open up some spots for us.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Okay, Karen. To start out with, I pulled the Nine of Wands. So Trump is thinking that he's going to get through this. He's resilient, not a big deal. Then I pulled the Page of Pentacles. So what he's thinking is that I'm going to make more money off of this, which is what he's been doing, which is why he hasn't officially declared that he's running. Because once he officially declares that he's running for president again, he can't keep the money. And right now he's keeping all the money. And then it ends up with the Hermit. And when I look at that, I look at somebody who is purposefully alone. Even though he's surrounded by people, he's alone because he chooses to be, because he doesn't trust anyone. He doesn't think anyone is loyal to him. But you can't demand loyalty from people that you refuse to be loyal to yourself. It's a two-way street. And he doesn't understand that. It's with him, it's all me, me, me. That's all he cares about. He will throw his own kids under the bus as long as it protects me. That's all he cares about.
His wedding's supposed to be tomorrow.
Yeah. It was originally supposed to be overseas. And he was informed that he couldn't leave the country to go to the wedding overseas, that they would need to change the venue to here. So they did, because it was originally supposed to be in Italy, I think, or somewhere like that. And the DOJ came back and said, nope, you can't go there. I don't know if they've taken his passport from him or not. But if you notice, he hasn't been out of the country since he lost. He has not left the country. And I think it's because he's been told, you leave the country, you're going to jail. And,
I pulled a few cards and I got the Moon. So he's having a lot of anxiety, and he is insecure, and he's afraid. He's looking, the Hermit. He's trying to search for a way out of this. He's got so much stuff going on. He's trying to search for a way, and I think trying to get back in the White House is one of them. He's got the Three of Wands in reverse, so he's holding on to. He can't move forward. He's holding on to a lot of self-doubt. He feels like a failure. He hates that. They've been calling him a loser, and he hates that. He got the Star. He's trying to hold on to hope and faith that he can find a way out of this. But he gets Ten of Cups, broken family. He's got a broken family, shattered dreams. He's going to be very disappointed. So, and it also stands for low self-esteem. I really do think he has low self-esteem because that's why he can't handle any criticism of any kind. But you could dish it out. What is that thing? You can dish it out, but you can't take it.
Yeah, big time. I wanted to pop this up real quick. Lisa Rhodes is saying that she doesn't think the Republicans will allow Democrats to replace Republicans forced out. Well, they won't have a choice because that is according to whatever that state's constitution is. I mean, we have the federal constitution for the country, but then each state has its own constitution of their state laws. Most states, not all, but most states, if a Republican is in office and they die, they get impeached, they get removed, they get arrested, I mean, whatever the case may be, and they step out of that seat, the most states allows for the governor to make a pick to put someone in there, but they have to pick from the same party as the person leaving. So if it's a Democratic governor and it's a Republican seat, they have to put another Republican in that seat. But now there are some states that say you have to run a special election. And it can be, I think anybody can run. So if they pick a Democrat to go into that seat, I think that's allowed. I've heard that on a couple of states. I don't know which ones. And I don't know if it's still the same anymore. I'm not as into all of that as I used to be. It just got to where I just couldn't keep up. But I think all in all, that when some of these people are out, they will have to be replaced or either voted for a replacement. And usually it has to be somebody from the same party, not the opposing party. Okay, next question here. Mel, Beto lost.
I think so, but I'll be my pendulum.
Yeah. You know what? That's not the one I want to use. I'm going to use this one.
I'm going to do that here by my pendulum. I get yes. It's saying maybe on the senator, but I get a yes that he will hold some sort of a national office. I think so. He's really good. He's going to get something.
I think, and I've heard several other readers read on this, and I tend to agree that he's in line for something bigger. Either he's going to go work for the administration, or he's going to run for a higher office like senator or something. But yeah, there are still big things coming for him. Yeah, dark side of the universe. That's what a lot of people are feeling right now. But we have protection, so it's going to be okay. That's the main thing I keep telling everybody. Just take a chill pill. It's going to be okay. You know, let's see.
I got the 3 of Wands. There's going to be some delays. You know, he's still holding on to the past. I think he's still upset about this, what happened just now. You know what I mean? He was really hoping that, but he's going to be working on it. I got the, what is that? The 8 of Pentacles. So he's going to in the future really be working on things, and I think he's going to have some accomplishments, but we have to wait because this is in reverse. So there's going to be some delays. And so we're going to have to wait. It's not good timing right now. But he is the 8 of Swords in reverse. He's going to, in the future, feel empowered, and he's going to have a new beginning. He got the 9 of Swords in reverse. He's letting go of the stress and the negativity. He needs to let go of that. He's going to be, and he's seeing the light at the end of the tunnel right now. He's going to have some people helping him, and he's going to overcome that, the past. And with the bottom of the deck, the 2 of Swords, I think he's at a crossroads. He's going to have to make some decisions. But the pendulum is saying yes about him holding on.
Yeah, I like what Aspie put. It's not a question per se, but a gentleman agreement require actual gentlemen. That's the problem right now is most of the ones on the other side aren't gentlemen, wouldn't know how to behave like a gentleman.
To be a handshake. Your word is your bond. If you say it, it's your honor. You know,
Yeah.
you don't go back. And I don't think that 45 or some of those people have any honor.
Yeah. They don't. They don't have honor. That's part of the problem. Um,
And you know, if it was if he was on the Democratic side, I'd feel the same way. He needs to have justice for doing all this that he's done. I would feel the same way if it was a Democrat trying to overthrow the government and do what they did at the Capitol. It's just wrong. It's a crime, and he should have justice. If you or I would have done even 1/4 of what he's done, we would have been in jail a long time ago.
Oh, without a doubt. Not just in jail, but under the jail.
Yeah.
I know. Let's see. He was. No, I just put that one.
You're right, Soda Pop. They're gonna. Yep. They got people in their 80s in there, and a lot of the voters. Do you know that Fox was saying there was they said that women, a lot of the young women, 40 and below, were voting Democrat, but the married women were voting Republican. So they said, you girls, you need to get these girls married and put a ring on it. It's like, yeah, and Texas Paul
Yeah,
said,
so they can get pregnant and stay home barefoot.
Said, you girls, you keep being independent and thinking for yourself and for what's best for your kids. But I think we had a lot of people that they have student loans. They need help with that. No, my cousin is in his almost 70. He's still paying off his student loan.
Yeah,
he can barely afford to have food in the house.
I borrowed $25,000 in student loans to go to school. I now owe $75,000.
Yes,
that's just from the interest. I mean, that's $50,000 of interest that has been tacked on for years because the government keeps telling me, well, you don't make enough money to pay it back.
Yeah.
If you put me in deferment loan, you know.
And then they add interest and interest and interest, and it's
daily,
impossible.
Compounded daily. And
you cannot pay it. You never pay it. You'll never, ever pay it unless you hit the lotto, the $2 billion.
And then they'll take that. I mean, that's why it's like when Biden did the first loan forgiveness for handicap, I was like, well, what? On chopped liver? How come I didn't get mine? So I filled out the form and sent it in. And they sent me a letter back, and I don't understand what it says because reading it, it contradicts itself. It's like, okay, I don't know. So I'm going to go back in and reapply. It's like, I don't get what it is y'all are trying to say.
Well, and women don't want to and even now they don't want to be going to jail because their life is in danger and it's a choice. You know, can you imagine if you have an ectopic pregnancy and they're going to put you in jail if you do that, or if you have a little girl and there's rape or incest and you can't, like that 10-year-old girl.
Yeah,
that's barbaric.
Or just for whatever reason the fetus is not viable and dies in utero. And then they can't go in and remove this from the woman because the doctors will get put in jail, but yet she's carrying around something that is now deteriorating within her body.
She felt like a coffin, she said. This woman, the baby had died within her. She felt like a coffin. They would not take it. She had to wait to deliver her stillborn. And it's horrible that they would do that. And not only that, but to put you in prison. What did they say? One place said 99 years. There are people, the rapists don't even get that.
You know, the thing of it is that all of this punishment that they're wanting to dole out for these decisions are only against women. What about the men involved? Took a man to get her pregnant. Took a man to get her pregnant. You take men out of the equation, there's no pregnancies.
When they said a woman can only have one child in a year, where a man could have multiple, you know, so why not
go ahead until I see that you are mandating vasectomies, because those can be reversed.
Yes, when they're ready to have a baby.
Vasectomies, when if you want to buy Viagra, you have to get written permission from your spouse or significant other, your parent, if you're young enough, your governor, your senator, okay, let's reverse this. How would you feel, going to some stranger some governor, a female governor, say, I need permission to buy Viagra so I can still get it up because I'm 70 years old now and that doesn't work anymore.
And take away birth control. Do you remember? I don't remember, but I know before they had birth control, I know people who had 12, 13, 14 kids, their moms did. And
Yes.
It was a danger to their health. And if you can't afford them,
childbirth is still one of the top items of causes of death for women. Is childbirth. And the fact that death from childbirth is higher in this country than in third world countries.
Wow.
That's scary. That's a game changer.
Yeah.
We live in this sophisticated society. We have all of this medication and ability with medical society, but yet we still have more women die from giving birth than they do in some third world country where there are no doctors.
Did you ever watch The Handmaid's Tale?
I have not. I
watched one season. I couldn't watch anymore because it was so disturbing. But it was disturbing because you could see something like that being a possibility, a far-fetched possibility. But the more I see like this stuff going on, it makes you think. And it's like women don't want to have to be put back 50 years, 100 years in the past. They worked too hard, fought too long to.
Damn right. I mean, I still remember when a woman couldn't get a bank account or a credit card without a man signing off on it.
Do you know Loretta Lynn needed to have a C-section and her husband was gone and they were not going to do it because her husband wasn't there to give her permission?
Yeah.
They want it to go back to that. These elderly men that remember, women's places in the kitchen, women's places, and it's not going to happen. I think a lot of women voted. I think a lot of younger people voted.
Yeah.
I wish more. But I think some people were throwing their hands in the air. They're so sick of it, they just checked out too.
Yeah, Aspie's correct. That's very true. And
yes, Aspie.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm backing up here to see if I missed anything. But I think that the youth in this country they don't see gender or color or race or religion. The majority of them don't see it, don't care. It's not relevant to their lives. That's your business alone.
Who you love or whatever.
That's where people that are in Congress, in the courts, in the Senate, whatever, so many of these older people are so out of touch because that's all they see is the difference of skin color, of religion, of gender, of, they don't get it. The younger people are like, big deal,
Yep. To me,
that
is what has always been beautiful about America is that we have so many different races and cultures and religions and ethnic. It's just, it would be so boring if everybody was the same. And instead of trying to learn about each other's cultures, learn about each other, people just like, you're not me, you're not in my box, you're the other. I'm superior and you're the other. And they were, I think, who was it? Somebody, 45 was calling Pelosi an animal. Yeah. And that's dehumanizing. That's what Hitler did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dehumanizing the immigrants, dehumanizing the women, dehumanizing, Democrats.
Yeah.
Calling us communists. Saying that they're
calling us spawn of the devil, that we're evil, that we murder children and eat their carcasses. That's what I've heard some of these people say.
I have to.
And it's like,
whatever they, some of these people, I'm not talking about the people, but I'm talking some of the high up people that start that stuff. Sometimes I notice what 45 accuses somebody else of doing, a lot of times he's doing.
And I think the minute that a church or a pastor starts telling somebody how to vote or how to think about how to vote, they should be They should have their tax exempt status revoked.
I agree. There was one who was saying that he wouldn't let people, when it was COVID, that he wouldn't let anybody in with a mask. So you have an elderly person with autoimmune disease, but they can't wear a mask and come to your church. He said, I'll throw them out. You know, and what else did he say?
Yeah, because that's so godly to put your people at risk.
And I don't want any of those Democrat communists here. I'll throw them out. And I'm like, my gosh, it's not your job to tell. Didn't we used to all just vote and just go? It was all a private thing. We didn't talk about it. We went to the voting booth and we voted, and it was nobody's business who for. And now it's just become so like dividing. And I've lost friends over this. I've lost family members over this.
Yeah.
I've never cared about politics before, and all of a sudden, this is why I care now.
When Obama ran the first time, and I was really excited about him. I was behind him.
He's a good speaker.
Worked on his campaign, and the friends that I lost, these so-called religious, godly people that I held in high esteem. It was like, I thought they, had one foot in heaven already. They were plugged in. When I saw some of the ugliness and the nastiness and the name calling and the just the horrible things that they would say about Obama or his wife, or God forbid, his little girls.
Oh, were they?
They were what, like 5 and 10 at the time or something, 6 and 10. They were little girls, I was just floored. I was like, I never forget. I had one woman that I thought was a friend who emailed me at one point and said, look, if you're going to have to spread around that N-word and his ilk, then we can't be friends anymore. And I emailed her back. I said, if that's the word you use to describe him, then stay. I said, if that's the word you use to describe him, you're right. We're not friends anymore.
I have a friend that I've had since high school, and a couple of days ago, I really got upset because she goes, she took me out for my birthday. And then she goes, did you hear about Paul Pelosi? And I said, yeah, because I knew she's, we don't talk about politics. And she started laughing. And she's like, ha, 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 he was in his underwear and he had a hammer, and the other guy was in his underwear and he had a hammer. And I'm like, I got so mad. And all the stuff she was telling me, I said, that is a lie. I said, and how can you say you're a Christian and be laughing about an elderly man who was hit in the head? Of course he was if he was in his underwear. My husband sometimes sleeps in his underwear. A lot of guys sleep in
Mine always slept in his underwear. That's all he slept in. Yeah.
But I was so ashamed. I was so hurt that I thought, this person I've known forever is laughing at something like that. And I think that's because she's seen all this. Well, you've seen Don Jr. He said, I got my Halloween costume, pair of underwear with a hammer. I thought it was such a sick thing. And it
was all these horrible things they were saying. And when the police finally released not just the security camera footage from the house, but of the police when they got there, I mean, it was a completely different story of what occurred, of what these made up stories were that they were trying to pass along.
But they still knew they were lies, and they still are telling them.
Yeah.
And
that's one of the laws that need to be changed, is that especially when it comes to politics, you cannot out lie about your opponent. If you can't back it up in a court of law, then you shouldn't be allowed to say it publicly. And
somebody put a gag order on him for 2 years later still. I won.
I know when Obama ran the first time, right after Sarah Palin got picked to be McCain's running mate, about a month into it, so when the news came out, somebody leaked it, that her oldest daughter was pregnant with her boyfriend. And I will never forget, about a day after the news came out, And Obama was somewhere, and as he was leaving this building, there's a bunch of reporters out there, and they had cameras and microphones and trying to get him to stop and talk to them for a minute. And one of them threw the question out there about Sarah Palin's unwed, pregnant daughter and blah, blah, blah. He stopped in his tracks. And I tell you, I would have died at the spot the way he looked at that reporter. He said, number one, this is a child you're talking about.
Right.
We do not discuss our
and we
children.
all make mistakes.
We do not discuss children. He says, number two, this is a family issue between Sarah Palin and her daughter and her family. It's not your business. It's not my business. It's not anyone in this country's business. It's in that family, period.
Good for him.
And number three, that child is not running for office. Right. So whatever that child has done has got nothing to do with her parent.
Your children and your family members should be off limits.
And he flat let it be known in that moment that stop. We are not going to go down that road. Not with me. And I mean, it was, you could have heard a pin drop. It was silence. A whole gaggle of reporters. You could have heard a pin drop. I mean, he let them have it. And I was like, yes.
Yeah. I think things are going to start getting better slowly but surely. And I think what did it, Fox said? He's going to be in the rear view mirror, you know, and I think he's going to lose a lot of his money. Look at all the court cases he's got to file.
Oh, he doesn't have any money to begin with. He didn't have the amount of money that he said he had to start with.
And Letitia James won her office. And
do you ever watch Noel Casler? He does a podcast. Mm-mm. He's a comedian now, but he used to be what was called a talent wrangler. That was, say you have a TV show. You have big names that are coming on as guests. Mm-hmm. Well, you would have talent wranglers would be a person hired to deal with whatever celebrity's coming on. And it was their job to make sure that celebrity, we got us a troll. Hang on just.
Can you block him? It's that tarot destroyer.
And we're going to block.
Nobody is casting spells here, tarot destroyer.
Yeah, I don't think he's a real person. I think it's a bot. But I forgot what I was talking about.
I don't know. Did you get him?
I don't remember.
Did you get him? Is he blocked? He's still there. I see him.
Yeah, he's been hidden by me. He's been timed out by Lisa. He's had his message deleted by me and Lisa. And
I have to go on and make sure I got that name blocked.
Yeah, make sure you report him, Lisa, and I'll report him after the fact. But oh no.
Yeah, Lisa was talking about Herschel Walker paying for those abortions and all the children he never supported, but he's running on a very strict anti-abortion ticket. But there was a lady who said, I don't care. They know it's true. And they said it's like the third one that he tried to pay for. He says, I don't care if he aborted a bunch of endangered baby eagles. We want the Senate. So that just shows they don't care about the morality that they're trying to claim they have.
No, not at all.
He's not real bright, and they think they can control him.
Yeah. Well, that's why they went with Trump to begin with, because they knew he was a very simple man to figure out. All you had to do was suck up to him and tell him how wonderful he was. He would basically do anything you asked him to do. You know, flash some money, tell him how gorgeous he is and how wonderful he is.
Well, that's what Putin probably did, and Kim Jong-un.
Of course it is. Of course it is. That's how Saudi Arabia became such big supporters of his, because Putin told them, look, suck it up to him, make shit up if you need to, and tell him, you're special, so you're gonna get this globe thing that they did, whatever it was. And that was it. I mean, he was eating out of their hands after that.
Yeah, he said something about the president of China, or that he said, or with the ruler of China said that he was a king. He says, "I'm not a king." He says, "Well, you are president for life. That makes you a king." He respects authoritarians and fascists
and bullies,
he
and
wants to be one. And if he ever gets in office, we're in trouble. So we got to vote like our lives depend on it. I've never voted in a midterm, but after he became president, I vote on the midterm.
yeah.
I go early as
The
I
first
can.
time I ever voted was for Bill Clinton when he ran for president the first time. And I didn't tell a soul that that's who I voted for, because I knew I would have been ostracized by everyone around me, with the exception maybe of my mother, who was very liberal and made no bones about it. But after that, most people thought I was Republican. I just didn't let them know that, no, actually, I'm not. I just didn't tell them that. I didn't discuss
I've always been independent, where I would listen to both sides and see what their.
And there have been a lot of times over the years that I have voted for a Republican in office because I felt like they were the best choice at that time.
I did once, and then I was sorry after, because it didn't turn out very well. But but then that's what we're supposed to do. We get to make a decision and we vote, and then if we're wrong, then okay, we go and vote them out.
Yeah.
You know, we shouldn't be like people talking about a civil war, all kinds of crazy talk, you know.
That's
but I
it.
hope things start getting back to normal. I think they will, because I think even the Republicans are getting tired of this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. A lot of them are. A lot of them are just like, you know what? Enough's enough. Just run the country. Because my cousin that I'm close to, he's very Republican. But he started like talking to me and asking my opinions on things. I said, look, there's nothing wrong with somebody being far left or somebody being far right. That's their philosophy. That's what they believe. More power to them. Mm-hmm. I said, but if you run for office and you get elected, then your job as that elected leader is
to be the president of everybody.
To meet the other person in the middle. And then you're giving up stuff. They're giving up stuff.
Exactly. To compromise.
And figure out what's best for the people as a whole.
Yes.
You know,
try to make it where it helps.
But you compromise. And that's the whole point of politician, is you're compromising.
They don't want to compromise
on ideals and learning to work together.
I love Biden said, he goes, I'm not going to be the president of the Democrats. I'm the president of everyone. I want to make policies that are going to help all Americans. But 45 was like, it's us against them. And he started all this division. So I think it's going to get better now. I don't think even if he says he's going to run, they don't want him running. They want the same.
I mean, Lisa just put it, I love a good debate. Yeah. I love to watch two people from two different points of view. I took debate.
Your side, and then we can make up our own mind.
I took debate when I was in high school. I was in the speech club. Yeah. And one of the things our teacher would make us do is we would have to get up and debate, one on the pro side, one on the con side. And then halfway through the debate, she would make you change positions.
Yeah. So you can
okay, now you got to debate the other side of it.
Yeah.
So it made you have to look and learn about both sides of an issue. And then she would tell you, if you got called up, Sally and Deann are going to debate today. You wouldn't know which side you were going to be debating for until she told you. And then whatever it is, you were topic A and you're for it. Topic A, the other guy's against it. Halfway through the debate, she'd make you switch sides.
And I love that. I think that's what it should be. When they had the debates, I remember 45 standing over Hillary and stood over her like he was trying to intimidate her. Oh, that made me so mad.
I kept waiting for her to turn around
and said, back off.
I kept waiting to turn around and punch him in the face, because God forgive me, that's what I would have done. I would have turned around and punched his lights and said, back off.
I probably would have some bad words for to probably come out of my mouth, and I would have told him to back the heck off, And it
exactly.
I would have said.
Exactly.
But I just, I think I like the debates too. That's how I've always voted. I listen to the debates of both of them, and then I see where do I stand, and if I'm wrong, then I vote him out.
I own up to it. I picked the wrong guy. That happens. But
I picked the wrong person once.
I've done it several times, and you got to go with what you feel is right. I mean, if some people are just good at hiding who they really are.
They had a lot of debates though this year where people didn't show up.
Yeah.
Didn't show up, and it's like, how do you get a
Well, I can understand from one point of view, how do you debate somebody who's flat out crazy? And talking.
You can tell the facts and you can point out that they're lying and that this is not the fact. But then they say, well, these are alternative facts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like there's no such thing as alternative facts. That's BS that got made up by somebody trying to lie.
Buttigieg, I have trouble with saying his name. And Beto,
I call him what Linda calls him, bootylicious.
Bootylicious. And they would go on Fox News, and I was really proud of them for that because those people need to hear.
Bootylicious still goes on Fox News regularly, and every time he goes on, he gets a standing ovation from their.
Yes, they need to do that. We need to fight. We need to not just be separated. It's like we need to go to them, tell them the truth, tell them they're being lied to and how they're being lied to, and give them the facts.
Which means you have to actually do the work and look up the topic and what it is that's being discussed to know that you're not just saying, I'm going to do ABC because somebody told you that's what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. If you really know the topic and you really believe in what your policy is, then you should be able to debate it from both directions.
Exactly. Especially if you want to run the country.
Thank you.
Laws for the rest
I don't want somebody that I like good enough to drink a beer with. I don't want to drink a beer with the president. I want the president to be somebody smarter than me, somebody more judicial than me, somebody more fair-minded than me.
Who knows how to communicate.
Yes.
Who's articulate, who's going to be seen world leaders and not make us look like a bunch of fools.
Exactly.
But I think that's what they like about 45. He looks like, your old crazy uncle that you could have a beer with, and he's talking down to certain. But he's not smart enough to run the United States.
No, he's a very stupid man. So
if anybody in here
who's been very lucky in his life, his money that he did have paid for a lot of nonsense. Well, Deann, I'm going to let us go. It's been an hour and almost 10 minutes. And I know you're so tired.
Questions, though. Is there any?
There's no more. I haven't gotten any more questions. Just a lot of.
Okay.
Just a lot of agreement or ideas, and that's cool too, But I don't want to wear you out because I know you're still.
That's all right. I
know you're still getting over being sick, and so I don't want to wear you out any.
Thank you.
And but please come back.
I will. Of course I will. And I'm going to just rest up the weekend. And then Monday I've got Susan Lynn coming on.
Oh, there you go.
TD Connect. I'm going to rest up for that.
Susan's
so nice. I really like that.
I got to meet Susan Lynn and Jen from Jen's World Tarot.
Yeah, she was on, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
Day before.
I got to meet them both in person.
I know
last year.
I'm jealous. I really would love to give her a hug. She's a doll.
Two of the nicest women I have ever met. They just both were just superb. I was so impressed with just their generosity and kindness. It really, you can feel it through the screen to a point, but there's nothing like sitting down and eating food with somebody.
And getting a real hug. I'm a hugger. Everybody knows
I'm a great hugger. Susan gives a good hug.
I do too. I give good hugs. I don't give little wimpy hugs. I give real hugs. If you don't like
Jen is a great hugger. She's like a full body bear hug.
Me too.
And I was like,
I hate it when somebody gives you a hug and they're like,
don't bother. Yeah.
I'm very much a love hug, but you know what? I'm shocked. I had there's some people who don't like getting hugged, don't like hugs, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, some people aren't huggers. I mean, I grew up, we were huggers in my family.
When
That's
I
just
was
the
a
way things
kid, I
work.
told everybody I thought any friends of my sisters, they had to be friends of mine. And I always told everybody I loved them and wanted to hug everybody and kiss everybody. My mom used
My
to call
late
me
husband had a
butter.
steadfast rule: you never left the house without saying "I love you" to everybody that
Yep,
was there, because you didn't know if you were coming back,
that's right.
and that's the way he
And
looked
it
at it.
makes somebody feel good, make them
Yeah,
feel loved, make them feel cared about.
that's it. That's exactly it. Well, thank you for coming on,
You're
Deann. Like I
welcome.
said,
Thanks, guys.
I don't want to wear you out. And
I'm gonna put my pajamas on and put my feet up and go watch a go
well,
watch a good movie.
I got Heather at 8 o'clock, and
Oh,
then
do you? Well, tell her I said hi.
I will. And I want to take a minute here so I can go put some food in my stomach. I haven't eaten today, so brought all that pizza home. I haven't had any yet. So
I made pork chops and I did not burn them, so that was good. I have a habit of putting stuff in the oven and then getting on the phone or doing something else and forgetting I have stuff in the oven and burning
that's
it.
me. I get distracted because of other things I'm trying to get done, and then suddenly it's like, what's burning? Oh shit.
And you're welcome, Soda Pop. I love that name because some people call things pop, some people call soda. I don't drink it, but I've always called it Soda Pop. So I've
Yeah,
seen that.
that's what we've always called it, soda or soda pop.
I hope you had a nice birthday, Mama Bear. I think her birthday is the same day as mine.
Yeah, I think it was. And I
Mhm.
remember doing birthday emojis and all the,
And Autumn.
and let's see. Wants to know what she is thinking, a yes or no. What is she
Soda Pop
thinking?
Sherry wants to know what she is thinking, a yes or a no. Okay, so you just want us to say, what are you thinking, a yes or a no? I'll
A
give it a
yes or a
shot.
no? I can do that.
Thinking
Okay.
yes or
What
no.
is Soda Pop thinking? Yes or no?
I think no.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. No.
Are we right?
I'm getting a no. I am getting a no as well.
Are we going to know? I want to
On the
know now.
15th of November. Oh,
And
you got a birthday coming up, Soda Pop. Well, happy birthday.
happy birthday. Another Scorpio. Are you a Scorpio? So Scorpio too?
I think
Are you
so.
Scorpio
The sign
also?
doesn't change till the 21st, I think.
Mama Bear said she did have, and I seen you there at my show, Mama Bear. I had so much fun. You should have come on with us. You would have asked, I'd have sent you the link. Except for I kind of was running out of room because I think Danny Shea tried to get on and he
When
couldn't
I
get
did
on.
my channelversary, it was the same thing. I mean, I had people waiting in the backstage, and it was so full that there were other people who couldn't even get backstage. It would just tell you, come back later. It's full. And but everybody was real good about rotating out. Once I was like, what am I gonna
We
do?
didn't rotate out when Danny came on. But then Linda G ended up leaving a little sooner, and then Danny popped in. But I could tell he didn't look like he was feeling good. He came from a trip, and he
Yeah,
just
he
drove
looked
fast.
tired. Yeah,
He
he
was
just looked
tired,
tired.
and he wanted to get on, but to tell me happy birthday because
Yeah.
he's
Well, that was it.
such
I had
a
a lot
good
of
guy.
people that did that with my channelversary. They just popped in and were in there maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I know Kathleen Lightworker had
I
popped
love
in,
her.
and
I
she
love
had been
Linda.
sick. She was talking like this when she came on,
She
and I
got
was like, "Well, what are
bronchitis.
you doing?" And she says, "I just wanted to say happy anniversary, and I'm going to go back to bed." And I'm like, "Yes, go back to bed."
I love that girl.
And
And Maya,
she's
I've
such a
been missing
sweetheart.
her. I hope she comes back soon.
I
Black Cat
know. I've
Black.
been so worried about Maya not. I mean, for a couple of days there, she was texting and saying, doing better, and then nothing again. So
We just gotta keep praying for her. I want
that's
her
it.
to, send her light, pray, however you do it. But some people know
Hi,
Reiki.
Shockwave. Sorry you were late, darling. You can watch the replay.
Hi, Shockwave.
Anyway, I've got Deann's channel in the subscription box. The description box below. I can't even talk anymore.
Ah,
Please go in, like, share, and subscribe. Remember to come back in after the show and leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji, because that boosts the algorithm. and helps our shows if you go back in afterwards and leave a comment. You don't have to leave. You don't have to write a book. You can just great show or lousy show or thumbs up or thumbs whatever. Doesn't matter. Just put a comment and it boosts the channel. It helps. So
well, that's good to know. I always forget. I always forget to tell people to like and subscribe. I have to catch myself, and then I'll do the whole show. And I'm like, oh darn it, I meant to tell them.
Yeah, I've got a little note written over here. Don't forget to, because I forget if I don't write it down. So thank you again for coming on.
You're welcome.
You're going to have to come back again soon, or I can go to you. It doesn't matter. Christmas is coming up. I get 2 whole weeks off, so I'll be available day or night.
Cool.
So give me a buzz. And hi, Sonia. I'm sorry you're late. Thumbs up.
Oh, Sonia, hi.
And that's another one I got to get on. So
is it Sonia or Sonia?
I don't know. Sonia, is it Sonia or Sonia? I've heard it pronounced both ways, so I guess it just depends on the person.
Her and EQ, I got to meet them. I was so happy to meet them. They're just wonderful ladies.
Sonia. Okay.
Sonia. Okay.
Gotcha. All right. Now we can say it correctly. And we'll be able to correct everyone else and say, no, that's not how you say her name.
Nobody ever says my name right. It's Deann.
No one says my name right either. And if they get it right, they spell it wrong. If they spell the first name right, they get the last name wrong. So it's like, whatever. I answer to hey, you. That works.
I did too.
Bye, my dear. I love you. Thank y'all for coming and spending a little time with us this evening. And hugs and kisses to everybody.
Yes.
Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans out there. Thank you for all you do. And y'all take it easy. Check out this amazing lady here this week. She's got more shows coming up. And we'll have a good time. Good night.
I enjoyed being on talking to you.
Thank you, my dear. I enjoyed having you. Just a mellow, chill, no major anything to worry about. Just hang out.
I like
and
that.
Yeah, I'm going to be hanging out in half an hour with Heather. So
I'll try to get my pajamas on and watch this.
If not, you can always watch the replay.
Yeah, unless Dale wants to watch a movie, he might have.
Bye, Teresa, and bye, Teresa. All right, I will see y'all soon. Bye, my dears.